Welcome, Deronda here with Foods 101. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this classic chicken pot pie. Everyone loves it, and it's very simple and easy to make. The ingredients you're going to need is 2 cups of chicken broth, 1 pound of chicken tenders or chicken breasts, and I cut them down into these bite-sized pieces, 1/4 of a cup of whipping cream, 1/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1/4 of a teaspoon of dried oregano, dill weed, and thyme, 1/2 cup of small diced carrots, 1 cup of chopped onions, 1/2 cup of celery that I've cut in moons. I love to leave it in that moon shape because you know what you're biting into when you're eating your chicken pot pie. 1/2 cup of frozen corn, 1/2 cup of frozen peas, 1 egg, and you're going to need 2 pie crusts. I went ahead and bought mine, but if you want to go ahead and make it homemade, you can check out my YouTube link below on how to make perfect homemade pie crust. To bake these in, you can use an 8 or 9 inch pie dish, a 12 count muffin pan, a 6 large jumbo muffin pan, or a 10 ounce ramekin. And this is what I'm going to bake my chicken pot pies in. Let me show you how we're going to get this together. Over here on the oven top, in a 5-quart Dutch oven, or if you want to use a heavy bottom saucepan, you can. I'm adding the olive oil, the celery, the onions. This is over medium-high heat, and the carrots. Cook this for the first 5 minutes. So use your timer. Stir occasionally. After 5 minutes of cooking, I'm going to turn off that timer. I'm adding the butter. Once the butter's melted, we're adding our chicken bites in, and we're going to cook this for an additional 4 to 5 minutes, or until you can no longer see pink on the chicken. I'm going to go ahead and season my chicken with a little salt, about a 1/2 teaspoon, and some black pepper. To continue stirring this. Okay, I'm going to turn off that timer. I'm going to dig out one of my largest bite-sized pieces of chicken. I'm using a fork, and we're going to tear it apart and make sure there's no pink in the center. You see that? No pink in the center. So it's ready for the flour. Cook your flour for about a minute. The ideal here is to get that raw flour flavor out. Cook it around with our vegetables and chicken. There's enough fat in here to make a beautiful roux, which is just equal parts of fat and flour. After a minute of cooking, we're going to add the chicken broth. You want to give it a lovely little stirring. Add your seasonings. Perfect. Oh my gosh, that smells so delicious. Add your heavy cream at this time. And you can substitute this with 1/2 and 1/2 or evaporated milk, but I'm using a heavy whipping cream to give it a lovely, rich flavor. Continue to stir. Bring this to a boil. My chicken pot pie filling has come to a boil, and this is the time we're going to add those frozen peas along with that frozen corn. Continue stirring for 1 minute. Oh my gosh, that filling looks absolutely fantastic. Now, if your filling gets too thick, you can add more chicken broth, or you can add a little water. This is the consistency you're really looking for. After a minute, I'm using a spoon, and I'm going to taste and make sure the seasonings are just perfect. Wow. That's absolutely perfect. We're going to move this off to the back burner and let it cool. I'm going to make my egg wash. I'm just adding an egg into a bowl, about a tablespoon of water. With a fork, we're going to whisk these 2 ingredients together. I'm looking a little frothy along the edges of our eggs there. I'm buttering the ramekins on the side and at the bottom and around the top. And I'm using a stick of butter, 1/2 a stick. I have the paper here at the top, and I've torn it off about halfway, so therefore I don't get my hands all buttery, which, you know, that doesn't bother me anyway. I'm using 4 ramekins. I'm unrolling my pie crust. I'm going to want the size of the bottom of my ramekin, so with a knife, I'm just going to go around the bottom. That way I'm not going to have to look for a special cookie cutter that'll give me the same shape, and lie it in the bottom of your ramekin here. If you're doing this with your muffin pans, you're going to do the same thing. Also, you're going to need a top size part of your ramekin, and you're going to cut it about a 1/2 inch away from the top of your ramekin, like this, if you're just doing the pie, because once we put our filling in, we're going to add it over to the top of our ramekin like this. So you kind of get the idea. I'm adding about a cup of my chicken pot pie filling into the ramekin. Oh my gosh, and this smells so delicious. Back with that egg wash, brush the top of our ramekins because we want the dough to stick here to the top. I'm gonna add a little bit more filling here so it can be closer to the top. Take one of our pastries and we're going to just mash it along the edge of our chicken pot pie. These are going to be fantastic, and you can push it around the edge here of your ramekin. With that egg wash, I'm brushing the tops of our chicken pot pies, and you want to make sure you got it around the sill as well. This will give it a lovely golden color. With a sharp knife, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little pricks here in the top so the steam can escape while it's cooking. These are off to the oven on the middle rack for the next 20 to 25 minutes. Use your timer and no peeking. If you wonder what I do with the leftover pie dough, once I get them all brushed with olive oil, I have a mixture of dried dill, oregano, thyme, salt, pepper. I'm going to mix this all up. I'm going to give each top just a little sprinkle with our herbs here. These go into a 400-degree preheated oven for 6 to 8 minutes or until they're golden in color. Here's that classic chicken pot pie, and look how beautiful that baked up. Oh yeah, and it's still really super warm. And as a matter of fact, remember that leftover dough? Look what I made for dipping. Oh yeah, if you want more crust, these are fantastic. Now's the test. Oh, listen how beautiful and flaky that is. Woo, and look down it. Ooh, and I got a wonderful scent of chicken. Oh yeah, fantastic. Gotta give it a try. Look at that chicken. It's still smoking hot. Perfect. Yum! Delicious! And looky here at those carrots and that corn. And as you can see, you can pull it right there apart from your ramekin. It's fantastic! Give me thumbs up, leave me a comment, hit that notification bell to be the first to get my new YouTube food videos. Thanks a million for watching, and I'll catch you lovely people later.